Well, hello everybody. This is not the intro that I thought I would be doing for this video. We had a major blizzard yesterday and last night. Last evening around 6 p.m. we lost the power. It's now 9 a.m. on Thursday the 27th, and we still don't have any electricity. I did spend the night in the house. It was such a violent, windy, stormy night I wouldn't risk coming out to the cabin and falling in the snow or something. So it was 9 degrees in my house this morning, but I'm out in the cabin now and have the fire going, warming things up. I don't know, I'm supposed to leave for Europe on Saturday the 29th. Can't very well do that if there isn't any electricity at my house. I've been out and give the hens a little water. Their water was frozen, and I have to be very conservative with water anyway. I'm on my own well and no electricity to pump more, so conserving all that I can conserve, I guess. It's a nice sunny morning today. I'll give you a little look out the window here, right into the direct sun. Over here's the feeder. There's been a few birds at the feeder. I see juncos over there on the snow. But anyway, I will add to this clip if the power gets back on and I determine whether or not I'm able to take my trip or not. I phoned and spoke with somebody at the Power Commission, somebody at their service desk or whatever, and they say they're endeavoring to have it back on by 8 o'clock tonight. Well, they tell everybody that. It probably will be back on by then. On the radio, they say there are 2,800 customers without power, and something like 100 crews working to restore power. So if there's 100 crews working to restore power for 2,800, that's one for every, that's a purple finch, there's one for every 28 houses, so I don't know. Ain't luck at all. We will get some power back here, I guess. But more on that later. Well, I survived. The power came back on around noon today, which was 16 hours. I guess I really shouldn't complain. I've been living in this house since 1977, and that's the longest power outage we've ever had. That was 16 hours, as I said, but other places in the province not very far away from here have lost the power for days on end, as early as just back last Christmas. So I really don't have much to complain about, I guess. Anyway, I'm in better spirits now, and the trip is back on, so I'm getting ready to leave in a couple of days' time. What I wanted to begin this little video with was promoting this book. If you can read that or not. It's called Paradise Lot. It was recommended by Patrick on One Yard Revolution, and then Elise Joseph also told me that she had read it and how much she enjoyed it, so I rushed out and bought a copy. Either buy a copy or get yourself to your local library and borrow a copy. I think it's excellent. These two men who call themselves plant geeks have taken a city-sized lot, 1/10 of an acre, and turned it into a food forest in Massachusetts. And it's their methods, their techniques, the things that they're growing. It's all very interesting. Anyway, this got me thinking. I'll never be able to replicate what they've done. I'm not even going to make an attempt. But I like some of the practices that they are using, and I really want to try some of the different plants that they're growing. So if you look at the new and extended plant list down below this video, I have ordered a number of seeds, and in a moment here I'll show you where I'm starting one of them already. And over the next several videos after I return from my trip, I will be introducing new seeds each time and starting them, or trying to get them started. They're perennial, most of them, and most perennials have long germination periods. Some of them have to be stratified in a refrigerator, freezer, or whatever, and all that sort of stuff. So time will tell how successful I am with it, but I intend to give it an attempt anyway. Now let's have a little look around here in the grow room, and then to finish this video up, I'm making frittata for dinner. So, well, all the pepper plants continue to do quite well. I still prune occasionally when I see one that I think needs pruning, and I'm picking off a lot of blossom buds before they open. I was really concerned with the power off here for 16 hours, -4 I think it was outdoor, and -7 I guess earlier last evening, but the house only got down to 9 degrees, and that didn't seem to affect them. Nothing seems to be stunted or anything, so they're going to be in the good care of my next door neighbor for the next couple of weeks. As I just said in the intro, I'm being strongly influenced by the Paradise Lot book written by two men who really know what they're doing. I won't put myself in the same category, but I am going to try to grow several of the things that they're growing. I have purchased quite a number of the seeds, and you'll see them listed down below. I'll put the updated seed list of the things that I'm growing this year. Probably over the next few videos I will start something each video. A lot of these things take months to germinate. Some of them 6 months or more. You have to do what they call stratifying. I think I've got, yeah, stratify, I've got the right word. Anyway, it involves keeping them at certain temperatures for certain periods of time and whatever. What I'm starting with here are called thornless jumbo blackberries. And these seed that I bought, I think I got all of these seeds from various Amazon.com sellers. These seeds have already been stratified, so they are ready to sow. I think this is supposed to be 25 or something. I didn't count. But I love blackberries. What I pick around here are the wild ones, and they're very good. The bushes are absolutely lethal. Even mowing the lawn, I have them at the edge of my property where I mow. I never seem to finish mowing without having blood running down my arms. The things have got thorns, and it's just like they can reach out and grab you. So these are thornless, and it says they're jumbo in size. I don't know how many years, at least 3 I would think, before you would see your first fruit on them. That being, of course, if they should ever germinate. But these are, it's a propagating tray that I've put them in, which has seen better days. Down in my dungeon of a basement where everything ends up, something heavy fell on it and squashed it. But I've straightened it out as best I can, and that's what I'm going to use. Soil that I just laid the seeds on was already dampened. I'll just dampen the top a bit to hold it down. And this will go up in the grow room on the heat mat. Hopefully I will get 25 or so jumbo blackberry bushes. It's thornless. This I may have to, that isn't going to fit like it should because of the fact that the green part was jumped on, so I may have to do some work there with some tape. Anyway, stay tuned. I don't know how long before I can expect these to germinate, and the other things I say you can look at the list down below. I'll probably be planting or starting the process on each one. One on each video for the next little while. Some of them, the process before you even plant them is 9 months to get them stratified or whatever. I just thought it would be neat to see if I could grow them from seed rather than trying to find some of the things you just can't find in this area anyway. But so that's the effort I'm going to make anyway. See what comes out from seed. What we're looking at here is one of the goji berry seedlings, and what I'm trying to show you is what's happening after I did the first pruning on them. I didn't prune them all the same day because they were at different sizes, so I'm not quite certain. This one was probably pruned at least a week ago, and it is showing some signs that it's going to do side branching, if I can point them out to you. This one here on the top is quite close to where I did the pruning, and it's sending out another one. There's one here further down, to another branch, and if you can just see in there, that looks like a bud that's just starting to come out down there. So I guess pruning them is beneficial. Hopefully I'll get a better shaped plant out of it. Well, I was successful in getting one each of the tomato seedlings one of the Gardener's Delight and one of the Yellow Pear. I'm just not convinced now that I have them labeled correctly. As I said, I think in the last video, the Gardener's Delight was the smallest tomato seed I've ever seen, and that was number 23, which is in the back there. When it came up, it was already, you know, the first seed leaves were quite large, and then the Yellow Pear, which was a larger seed, had small seed leaves, which makes me believe that I probably got the tags mixed up, but I only kept one of each, so if I've got it wrong, I've got it wrong. We'll know when it starts to bear fruit, I guess, and I will start several more, but probably not until sometime in April. I just wanted to get a couple going early here. Well, those tiny things are the variety of bell peppers, sweet green peppers that I'm growing this summer, and I've put them into large pots even though they've only got their seed leaves, because obviously I have to, I'm leaving. And next to that is the parsley that's been growing in the Arrow 3 garden. There's been a little red light on the Arrow 3 garden all winter, which indicates that the lamp should be replaced. Well, I ignored it, and finally I guess the lamp died. It just isn't coming on anymore. So I think they've gone through the transplant without suffering too much. They wilted a bit yesterday, but they don't seem to be wilting today or anything. So I'll probably get a couple of parsley plants out of it, or one if I leave it all together to put in the greenhouse a little later on. Well, let's head downstairs and see what we can do about making a frittata. I'm making frittata for supper. If you haven't had frittata before, it's sort of like a quiche, an Italian version of a quiche with no crust. I like a few olives in mine, and I like olives that have pits in them, but I don't want to cook with olives that have pits in them, so the easiest way I find to eliminate the pit is to put it between a couple of plates and a few olives at a time, and that way you squash it down and that helps you get rid of the pit. I hope there's light enough here that you can see what I'm doing. I've got all the lights turned on in the kitchen, but it's kind of a gloomy day out. 4 eggs, 4 large eggs. As I've said many times before, these ones are fresh from the coop. The new Chanticleers are now laying a full-size egg. And into that, I'll add the olives. If you like olives. There are many different kinds of frittata. I've even seen some, I've never tasted it, but I've seen some that are made with fruit in, bananas, whatever. About a cup of grated cheese, and this is a bought and pre-grated mixture, I think for nachos or whatever. It supposedly has 3 different kinds of cheese in it, and some jalapeno. Well, it's very little jalapeno. There isn't much heat there at all. I sauteed some mushrooms and a bit of broccoli. Just trying to get everything coated with the egg. And I cooked a cup of pasta, a dry cup, a little more than a cup, probably closer to 2 when it's being cooked. And this is just a mixture of various shapes called rainbow. It's got the different kinds of vegetables in it for color. I think that's a pretty good mixture. It's different every time I make it. I put whatever's in the house here. Fresh pepper. 2 grams of sea salt. I haven't taken the Parmesan out of the fridge yet, but I won't bother doing that on film here. But before it goes in the oven, I will grate fresh Parmesan on top of it. I'll come back and show you what the finished product looks like. It's a nice thing for breakfast or any particular time, I guess. I'm having it for dinner this evening. And it warms up really well. A minute or so in the microwave, piece of it on a plate, and it's just like it's fresh out of the oven. But I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it does come. I know I won't think to mention it when it comes out of the oven. It bakes at 350 degrees, half hour to 45 minutes, just until it's set. So I had a pretty good feeling I would forget to mention that when I pull it out of the oven. So you're now going to get to watch me grate Parmesan. And this time, I will put it in the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Well, it sure smells good. Wait till it cools down a bit while I make my salad, and I'll have a nice big piece of frittata for my dinner. I hope you give it a try. Well, I'm ready for lunch or dinner, whatever this is. Evening meal, anyway. And I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells delicious. Not good for the cook to brag like that, but I love this. It's anything with pasta in it I love, I guess. Pasta and cheese, you've got me happy. Very hot still. And it is very good. With it just having a simple winter salad, the only thing that's the least bit exotic in it is there is a Belgian endive that I was scared was going to go bad, so I diced it up. So my salad is a bit on the bitter side, but I like that. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you try making a frittata.